Never mind. Is that all right for you? It's pretty good for me.
Brilliant.
Good. Okay. Lovely. Good. So write in, and we'll send you that next week. Mike.
Yes.
I can't help feeling that your mind is wandering during the show.
No.
No. The sooner you get back to the tales of where is it?
Tales of
Narnia.
Narnia.
Yes. Of it. I said I know you from somewhere. What have you been in? Because Michael does a bit of acting. And he plays a hedgehog. And I said, yeah, you look just...
I know.
You do, don't you? Yeah. Tell him what your other job is.
I work for Customs and Excise.
Okay.
Customs officer.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're sort of, I suppose, you can get in and
Well,
search places nobody else can get to,
yeah.
really, yes.
That's right.
Yeah. On we go with his size important. That's a funny little... Right. Dougal from Nottingham. Hello, Dougal.
Hello.
Yes, Dougal.
I've got a good suggestion for you.
Yeah.
We can,
Thanks, Dougal. OK, try us when you can get it together. Simon from Chelmsford. Yes, Simon.
Hello there, James.
Hello, Simon.
Well, I've got a problem with my feet.
You've got a problem with your feet?
Yeah, they're size 15 and a half.
Hard luck, get them cut off. Now, I'm sorry. I should have shown more sympathy, really, Chris, shouldn't I? But, I mean, you know, how big are yours?
17.
17? He's
Yes.
got no problem. What problem has he got?
There's plenty of
Hold
places
those,
where
let's have a look at those.
Where do you want them?
Anywhere you like.
You've seen them once, pardon?
Yes, I have, haven't I?
You've seen them once before.
How are the
Not a-
nails, by the
Oh, they're
way?
fine, thank you. Yes.
They're good?
Yes,
Good,
yes,
that's
they're still on.
Yeah. Do you have any problems with your feet?
With my feet,
Yeah.
they're slightly smaller than the average.
Yeah, but they're not, you know, don't get...
No,
yeah.
they're all right otherwise.
There's absolutely no point in asking you about any problems you've
I
got.
have problems with my shoes because my boyfriend put them in the microwave to dry them.
Oh, you silly dear me, what a shame. Yeah, OK, right. One more call and we'll take a break. Michael from Belfast. Yes, Michael.
Hi, James.
Yes, Michael, hi.
Well, a friend and myself were talking about the size of our appendages the other day.
Your manhood.
Yes.
Yes, I
and he was saying that his was at least 8 or 9 inches.
Yeah.
And I was saying to him, boy, you're lucky. I'm stuck here with this big thing.
Yep. I know, it's always the way. Funnily enough, that I'm told by most women I know that a man thinks 8 inches is about that long, really. But, you know, I don't know. We'll take a break. Don't go away. Call our party line now on 0898 60 60 60 and speak to new friends all over the UK. Just dial 0898 60 60 60.
Stephen King called it the most ferociously original horror film ever. The Evil Dead. At last, it's back.
Keep the change, Sonny.
Thanks a million.
I know that face. He's bluffing.
Keep the change, Sonny.
Off like a shot this morning. Boss had the day off. Girl in accounts came back. Nice weather for ducks. United won. Away.
Pint of dry blackthorn, please.
Definitely a dry blackthorn day.
Hey, why don't you ask Melanie out tonight?
What? Well, because I have a report to write for tomorrow's meeting. That's why. What's her phone number?
396-0214.
461000. He's waiting for your call now.
Anybody that has one that talks, if you could phone us, I'd be very interested in talking to it, actually. What's that smell? Is that you?
I think it's you.
No, it's certainly not me. What?
It's you, you know.
What is that?
Come in. I don't know, it's you.
Is it me?
It must be.
I must stop using women's perfume, then, if that's me. Right, it's not the size of the gun, it's the power of the shot. Martin, you'll like this. Oh, you know this is Maria Whittaker, don't you? I don't know why we got Maria Whittaker on the show, actually, because we're talking about size, except that she's got a... What?
Well, that's it, size.
Was I talking to you at that particular moment?
Well,
just a minute, please. But Maria, of course, has got a video out, and that's why we're talking to Maria, really. Nothing to do with size at all.
Size, look.
Maria,
I'm
stop
up
that,
here.
please.
Well,
Maria, and in fact, come on, that cameraman, keep... my show.
Oh, sorry.
Maria has got a very large... Where is it? No, the diamond on the ring. Very large diamond on her ring. Very large. Now, Martin and Mike sent in this fax. I'll just read this before we have a slag. And it says, size doesn't matter, but Ruth says it does, and Ruth wants to know more about the Iraqi supergun. That's very clever, Ruth. Yes. So, I mean, if we're talking about something, you don't mind just joining in, I suppose. Size must have been important to you. I mean, where would you have been if it hadn't been for size?
Oh, that's right.
Concentrate, Michael.
Yeah.
Yes.
Size, yes.
Yeah, I mean, what would you have done, do you think?
Well, I wanted to be a dance teacher.
Shop girl in Woolworths or something?
No, I wanted to be a dance
you
teacher.
You did? Yeah. Well, I think you could be a
dance.
dancer dressed like that, actually.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
thanks.
I did notice we're going to see the video in a minute. Oh, no, we're going to see it a bit later on, aren't we? No, if we've got time, we're going to see it.
Oh, well,
if we've got time, we're going to see it. Because I notice when you're doing it, you manage to, the words and your lips don't move at the same time, do they? But it doesn't matter.
They do.
Do they?
Yes, you do. You obviously have.
Well, I'll have more of a look at it a little bit later on. But that is why I will be looking at it closely, because I just wasn't sure whether she was getting the lip sync with the tune. That's why I'll be looking at it. What about these diamonds? I've never seen anybody with so many diamonds. I have to tell you. Well, apart from me, but yeah, yeah. Mike, do you think that?
Diamonds are very nice.
Yeah, because I notice you're into jewellery. I think men are into jewellery now, aren't they? Yeah, yeah, very, yeah. I mean, the guy who shot himself the other day, I forgot what his name was. He was in Time Band.
David Rappaport.
David Rappaport, that's right, because he'd fallen in love with a very, very beautiful girl.
Yeah.
I mean, what happens if you suddenly sort of fall in love with a beautiful girl and it's sort of...
Well, when I fell in love, it worked out. I'm engaged now, so I didn't have the opposite problems. So I don't know what would happen, really.
And of course, Chris up here at the end, who's beginning to perspire quite profusely, because these lights are quite hot, I can feel it, and you're that much closer to them, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. And he's still looking for some kind of liaison.
Yes.
Yeah.
And why not?
And why not? I mean, I was thinking, actually, we've got Fiona over here, who's 5'10", but that's actually just come up to your waist anyway, wouldn't it?
No, a bit more than the waist. But then size isn't all that important.
Yeah. Size isn't important.
It isn't crucial. There is an element of importance, but it's not crucial.
To be fair to Maria, I mean, you would have succeeded, would you? You're saying you would have succeeded whatever happened. The fact that you were well known for being a page 3 girl who was well endowed really was just a sort of an added bonus.
Yeah, I think so. A lot of the girls actually do have quite small boobs on page 3. It's the face that matters.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you must get pretty annoyed with the sort of continual harassment you get from people. Do you?
Doesn't bother me.
Do you get hard about it or not? It does bother you a little bit, doesn't it? No. It does bother you a little bit.
It doesn't, honestly, it doesn't.
Yeah?
That's me, that's,
yeah.
you know.
OK, we're going to see the video more closely a little later on. We'll look at some letters now before we go any further. Shall we look at some letters? I think we should look at some letters. Oh, golly! There we are. Now, letters from John Williams in Manchester. He echoed a lot of people's thoughts when he wrote and asked what would happen to the Channel Tunnel if there was an earthquake in its vicinity. What do you think would happen? What a ridiculous thing to write in and say. Mike Shields in Nuneaton, who is the editor of a literary magazine, went on and on and on and on and on, and I can't even be bothered to read his letter out. A letter from Trevor Banana, who writes in from time to time, who's a complete prick. He says, for it is he who points out, this week is the 50th anniversary of Dunkirk, one of Britain's greatest ever victories. Why? Because it's the first time in history that the British beat the Germans for a place on the beaches. I thought it was quite a sort of subtle joke, really, don't you? They didn't get it here, but never mind. I hope you did at home. Jay Robson from Newcastle upon Tyne sees himself as the voice of reason. He says, I have come to the conclusion that you should go back to France and take all the effing ethnics and queers that you support with you and stay the hell out of England! This, by the way, is a man who says he is the voice of reason in this country. He says, if you think you represent the normal English person, then you're a bigger something, something, something than you look. Ah, Mr. Robson. If I thought that, that there were many people like you, I think I'd be off on the next boat, to be quite honest. What a prat. Never mind. Now, Paul Evans in South Glamorgan thinks size is important, relating to this week's programme. He says size is important. It ensures a much better bonding between wallpaper and a wall.
Well, this is...
I can't understand that at all.
No.
Sally in King's Lynn thinks that the saying, it's not how big it is, but what you could do with it counts. It was most certainly invented by a man with a small one. Why is it women are always having a go at us men about that, eh? I mean, we don't, you know...
Blokes have a go back at women, because I've seen it from 3 angles.
A contortionist already, okay. And battling Ben Dover, aged 14 3/4, begs, please send me 40,000 packs of your condoms so we can build a bouncy castle for the underprivileged children in the village. That's almost as funny as the Iraqi gun thing. And Darryl Lavender in the West Midlands, we have some wonderful letters, please keep the letters coming in. Darryl Lavender in the West Midlands is worried by the burning question of the day, and that is the change of name for the Marathon Bar, all right? It's now going to be called a Snickers Bar, which brings it in line with everything else, you know, the Americans have. And I think it's a good idea, actually. And I have to say as well that, Darryl Lavender, you had the most boring letter of the week prize coming to you for no punctuation and repeating yourself 50 times in the same letter. And thank you very much indeed for that. Now, relax. Enjoy yourselves, take a little walk, take some more phone calls in a few moments, some more faxes. Before I do that, I want to come out and introduce you to some live music on the programme. I was hoping at this point to have my very good friend Wayne Hussey and the Mission playing, because it's Wayne Hussey's birthday at this particular time, and as you know, Wayne and I are like that. But unfortunately, another TV show that's on sometime over the weekend said to the record company, Wayne's record company, if Whale